Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's Cone back here again tonight with another episode of After the Buzzer. It's been a little bit since we've done one of these. I'm not going to be breaking down every game in this video. Instead, I really want to focus on one game. There was a game between the Lakers and Warriors tonight, one that was really anticipated because they've been battling back and forth in the standings for a good while at this point, and the Warriors had a chance to go ahead and win this game and move into a tie with them with the 9th and 10th spots. It feels inevitable they're eventually going to play in the play-in, and this is a big preview of that. You know, Steph Curry versus LeBron James, Anthony Davis facing off against Klay Thompson, Draymond Green. There was a lot of hype going into this. It was on national TV, and for the most part, this was a really good game. LeBron James was amazing in this game, had over 40 points. Steph started off kind of quiet. I think he had no points in the first quarter, but eventually finished with over 30. Klay Thompson and Jonathan Kuminga were amazing in the first half. There was a little bit of extra drama because Anthony Davis actually left pretty early in this game. He got poked in the eye, which eventually kept him out for a majority of the game. So hopefully everything's good with Anthony Davis. But basically there was a lot going on, and it was amazing hoops. It was really back and forth. Like I said, national TV, a lot of hype, big storylines. And then we got to the fourth quarter where this amazing game kind of got ruined. You'll have to bear with me here because there's a lot going on, but I want to go ahead and break down some of the things that happened. It starts off towards the beginning of the fourth quarter. There was this weird play that I'm going to go ahead and show you here where the Warriors have the ball. There's 11:03 left in the fourth. There will be a red arrow. Shout out to whoever dropped this clip. I can't remember the name on Twitter, but gets it to Klay. He goes ahead and dribbles in. Look at the shot clock right about here. It's going to show red arrow. It's at 9 seconds at this moment, and for some reason it just resets to 24 seconds. Eventually, they're going to get it down to Trayce Jackson-Davis, and he's going to score on this possession that took them like 37 seconds or something like that. The Lakers, as you can see, are like, what happened there? It was strange. Like I said, if I go ahead and forward it again, it just, at this point, it's 9 seconds, and for some reason, it just jumps back to 24. Now, I don't think it's rigged or anything like that, like some people think. I just don't know how the refs don't notice this and realize, hey, this has been going on for a while. Like, this is a way longer possession than usual, and fix the shot clock. Typically, when they notice an error, they go ahead and fix it. And this is going to turn into a ref show a lot. This is an example of this moment. The shot clock also had a bunch of things going on with it throughout this game. It's not the ref's fault that the shot clock reset, but I don't know why they didn't notice here. Like, it was very clear watching in real time, hey, this is a really long possession. So this was one of the first things that happened, but it goes way downhill from here. Fast forward now to the 2:21 mark in the fourth quarter. Warriors building momentum. Steph is really cooking at this point. He's found a rhythm. Lakers need a bucket. LeBron's doing everything he can, and he decides to do something ridiculous again. Gets a switch over in the corner on Steph Curry and hits this absurd fadeaway three. It's a massive shot. They needed to cut the deficit down to 4 with 2 minutes and 5 seconds left to go. This puts LeBron at like 38, 39 points. Just insane moment. Literally made me jump out of my chair, and NBA Twitter was going crazy. The next possession down, the Lakers go ahead and get a stop on Steph Curry, and there's the fight for the rebound, which leads to this moment where Andrew Wiggins and Jackson Hayes both go for the rebound. It goes out of bounds. They call this Warriors ball. Darvin Ham decides, okay, I'm going to go ahead and challenge at this moment. Makes sense, they need possession here. And unfortunately, this leads to the refs being at the monitor for like 7 minutes, both because they're looking at this call, which they end up saying is a jump ball because they don't know who touched it last. It's that close. But also because there's an issue with the LeBron James shot, because after looking at some replay stuff, it seems like LeBron may have stepped out of bounds over the course of this shot. I'll go ahead and just show you the clip right here real quick. This angle doesn't show a lot here on the broadcast, but this is the one that a lot of people are looking at, and it happens right here. This is where they said LeBron James may have stepped out. It looks like there might be a shadow under his foot. A lot of Lakers fans are saying there is. LeBron himself said, I shoot on my tiptoes, so I don't know how I even would have stepped out of bounds. I don't really know. It's close. I think he probably got a little bit on the line. But the problem is they spent like 7 minutes at the monitor looking at that other play and then this one, which completely halted all the momentum in the game. If you're asking me, if they're going to take the three away, take it away. If you don't feel like you have conclusive evidence after a few minutes, then just leave the shot up there on the board. I mean, he hit it. It's really close. They just take too long in a lot of these replay reviews. There are some people who just hate this rule in general. I'm not going to go into that, but really from the officiating standpoint, why are you taking this great game that has all this momentum, has big buckets, LeBron just hit this huge three, and just shutting all the momentum down for like 7 minutes? And this is only the beginning of everything else that ends up happening. So eventually they get it sorted out. It's now again a 7-point game, and we go to the jump ball where Andrew Wiggins and Jackson Hayes are going at it. Jackson Hayes tips it. Draymond runs over, saves it out of bounds, hits it off Austin Reeves. Warriors ball. But Again, after winning the challenge previously, Darvin Ham decides to challenge this and thinks that Draymond Green might have stepped out of bounds. It also kind of looked like a travel, which I don't think is even reviewable. But they go to the monitor and they take a look again at another play. And this one also takes a long time, when in reality, it feels like it shouldn't have taken that long. Because if we take a look at this, it looks like not only did he travel, which again, I don't know if that's reviewable, but it looks like he steps out of bounds. Like if LeBron stepped out of bounds on the other one, Draymond's definitely out here. So this felt kind of cut and dry. And Mike Breen was saying on the broadcast, yeah, it looks like he's out of bounds. But they just kept going. The replay kept going for another like 6-7 minutes. They kept taking a look at this play over and over again, completely halting all the momentum that is going on in this amazing, chaotic game, all these great performances. It just turns into refs sitting at the monitor, which just kills it, like legitimately kills a fantastic game. So at this point, it's been about 15 seconds of action and like 15 minutes in real life. It's been ridiculous. I'm getting tired. I'm trying to go ahead and just record and do some work before going to bed. And then this happens. As you'll see here, the ball gets inbounded. The game clock's going down. Nothing's happening with the shot clock. It just is not working. So LeBron dribbles it up and they realize, hey, it's not working. This is another play where they inbounded the ball. Shot clock still not working. So LeBron James is getting annoyed, as is everybody else. And this happens another 4 or 5 times. It keeps happening to the point where now, as you see, they're going to show this clip here on the broadcast where in the corner you have the 24-second shot clock. Typically, I'm going to fast forward it just a little bit. Eventually, when they go ahead and inbound the ball, there's no shot clock because it stopped working. The shot clock just completely stopped working. They inbound the ball like 4 or 5 times. LeBron's getting annoyed. He's like slamming the ball on the ground. At the end, he walks over to the broadcast table and is like, I'm way too old for this. This took like 25 minutes between the replays and the shot clock issues to eventually get the ball to LeBron James and continue the game. And the shot clock thing, I'm not going to blame on the refs. This wasn't their fault that the shot clock broke, but it's just something added on to the fact that they took so long with the replay reviews, just not letting the game breathe, letting it happen. Eventually, if you don't know what a call is, just call it either a jump ball or stick with the call that you made on the floor. We shouldn't be spending 6-7 minutes on a call that ends up leading to just a terrible end to the game anyways. As you see here, LeBron James gets the ball. He's going to get a switch here into Steph Curry and dribbles the ball. Steph plays some amazing defense here, by the way. Eventually, they get a steal. Steph Curry brings it up. They waste a little bit of time. They end up scoring, going up by 9, and the Warriors close this game out pretty handily. At the end of the game, the Warriors win, and they do go ahead and move into a tie for the 9-10 spot with the Lakers. But it's so much wasted time. Over the course of this game, it really killed all the momentum, and now all the discourse on the timeline. And I'm making this video not about a great game. I'm making this video about the awful officiating, the awful replay review stuff, which has been going on for a while. This isn't the only example, but it feels like it's gotten worse and worse. Stick with the call you made if you don't know what's going on. And there's also, of course, all the stuff with the LeBron James 3 being taken away. There were a couple of other weird officiated games tonight, like the Kings-Knicks game. I know was super physical. I didn't see some of it because I was watching this as well as the Thunder-Grizzlies game, but I know that one got super physical and there was a lot of issues with that game. So just officiating's at a bad spot at the moment. And this is not the first time I've talked about here on the channel. I'm sure a lot of other content creators have talked about it too. It's in a rough spot, and they've made efforts to try and change officiating. There was a league memo that went out recently that refs are trying to prevent as much foul baiting as there's been over the course of the year, prevent guys that are veering into contact weirdly from getting those calls. So it seems like they're trying to allow a more physical game, which has definitely been the case. I feel like watching hoops over the past few weeks, it's been noticeably, more leniently officiated. They're letting guys play a bit more physical, which I do like. That's cool. It feels a bit more like the playoff setting that we're seeing or going to see coming up here in a couple of months, but there's still all the problems with the replay reviews. It's reaching a point where Rudy Gobert is getting so mad about officiating that he's making the money sign at officials. It's just become way more of a topic of discussion than it needs to be. The topic around the NBA shouldn't be the officials. It shouldn't be, oh, Rudy Gobert thinks games are rigged. There's all these replay reviews. It should be on the great basketball because the sport has never been in a better spot than it is right now. The league has never been more talented. There's a ton of parity right now. We don't know who's going to win the NBA Finals. We don't know how things are going to go. It feels like a wide open NBA at the moment with so many great stars, young teams on the rise, legends trying to make their last stand and establish their legacies even further. This is the stuff that we should be able to be talking about, but instead it's replay reviews. It's the fact that at the end of this game, I'm going to go ahead and find the exact time because I took a screenshot of a tweet about it. From Worldwide Wob, the final 2 minutes of Lakers Warriors took exactly 23 minutes and 27 seconds of real time to complete. That shouldn't be the case. The last couple minutes, outside of, say, a team that has a big lead getting fouled to try and extend the game, it should be this fast-paced action like the rest of this game was. There shouldn't be all these shot clock issues, which again, I don't blame the refs for that necessarily. That wasn't their fault. But the shot clock issues wouldn't have been as obnoxious if there wasn't 20 minutes of replay reviews leading into the shot clock issues. It was just a complete disaster at the end of a game, a fantastic game overall. Like, I don't want it to take away from the basketball. Shout out to the Warriors. They really needed this win. And these two teams are going to play coming up in around a month or so towards the end of the season. And that could decide the tiebreaker between these two teams who may be tied at the end of the season. And it seems likely they're destined to play in a playing game, which would be amazing hoops. You know, Steph Curry was amazing. Kuminga did some great stuff. Clay was great. LeBron is still giving us 40 pieces at nearly 40 years old. There's so much great hoops to talk about, but the flow of the game itself, and I'm sure for casual fans who tuned in on national television, it was overall ruined. So yeah, I just want to talk about this and the state of officiating in the NBA right now. It's rough. I do like, again, the changes they've been trying to make with letting the game be a bit more physical, but the replay reviews are kind of the main thing that I feel like is bothering a lot of people at the moment. Let me know what you think about officiating and how this game ended down below in the comments. Did you watch it live? You know, what was your thought on the like 50 different inbounds they had to run to try and get the game restarted after all the replays and stuff with the shot clock not working? They literally reached a point where the shot clock was just off and the PA announcer was announcing like, hey, there's 20 seconds left on the shot clock, 15, 10. That is just completely absurd on top of everything else. But yeah, I appreciate y'all watching. As always, leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. I'll see y'all later. Real one, say it back.